Imagine yourself standing at the crossroads of $1 million decision. Your next step could lead to profit beyond imagination, or a financial misstep you'll regret. How do you decide where to invest? What ensures that your hard-earned money doesn't vanish into thin air? There are two powerful tools can guide your way through this high-stakes world of investment: internal rate of return, IRR, and the payback period. These aren't just financial buzzwords. They're your secret weapons for calculating risk, ensuring profitability, and making decisions that could transform your future. Join us as we unravel the mysteries of IRR and payback period, decoding how they work, why they matter, and how you can use them to make smarter, more strategic investment choices.
Project Financial Evaluation. How to calculate returns from a Six Sigma project investments. As discussed earlier, there are many concepts of analyzing the financial benefits. Till now we have discussed return on assets, return on investments, net present value. In this session, we shall discuss internal rate of return, payback method. We shall also learn what other benefits we may get from a Six Sigma project and how to account for that. We now discuss an important alternative to NPV. This is known as internal rate of return, or IRR. With IRR, we try to find a single rate of return to ascertain the merits of a project. The term internal refers to the fact that the calculation excludes external factors, such as the risk-free rate, inflation, the cost of capital, or financial risk, etc. Let us take an example. Consider a project that costs $100 today, and it pays $110 after a year. The return is 10%, isn't it? This is the internal rate of return, or IRR, of this project. Now the question is 10% IRR a good investment? This will be a good investment only if our required rate of return is less than 10%. So based on IRR rule, an investment is acceptable if IRR exceeds the expected rate of return. Otherwise it should be rejected. Let us take one more example. A project has a total upfront cost of $435.44. The project is estimated to have a cash flow as below. What is the IRR? If we require an 18% return, should we approve this investment? For this decision problem, we shall tabulate the NPV profile at different discount rates, as per the NPV formula. The NPV results for different discount rates will be like this. You can find that NPV is 0 at 15%, this 15% is the IRR. Based on the IRR rule, an investment is acceptable if the IRR exceeds the required return. It should be rejected otherwise. So if we require an 18% return, then NPV at 18% discount rate is negative. So we should not do this investment. Therefore, we learned that the IRR on an investment is the required return that results in a 0 NPV when it is used as the discount rate. At this point we may wonder whether IRR and NPV rules will always lead to identical decisions. Here the answer is yes, if two very important conditions are met. These are: first, the project's cash flow must be conventional. This means that the first cash flow, that is the initial investment, must be negative, and all other subsequent cash flows are positive. Second, the project must be independent. This means that the decision to accept or reject the project does not affect the decision to accept or reject any other project. Typically the first condition is met, but the second often do not satisfy. Now, we shall discuss about payback period method. The payback period is the length of time necessary for an investment to generate cash flows sufficient to recover its initial cost. The payback method is a simple way to evaluate the number of years or months it takes to return the initial investment. The payback period is determined by dividing the initial investment, or the original cost of the asset, by the total cash inflow. For example, a project has an initial investment of $50,000. The project cash flows are as follows. Here, you may note that exactly at the second year, the total net cash flow equals to investment in project. So this investment pays for itself exactly in 2 years. So the payback period is 2 years. Based on the payback rule, an investment is acceptable if its calculated payback period is less than some prescribed number of years. Let us take another example. Here is a projected cash flows from a proposed investment. The project cost is $500. What is the payback period for this investment? Here, the initial cost is $500. The accumulated cash flow for the first 2 years is $300, and first 3 years is $800. Therefore, we need to recover $200 in the third year to break even. So we have to wait for $200 divided by $500 equals 0.40 years. So the payback period is 2.40 years. Let us summarize the key points of the payback period method. The payback method generally ignores the time value of money, although the calculations can be done taking this into account. The main advantage of the payback method is the simplicity of calculation. It is also useful for comparing projects on the basis of a quick return on investment. A disadvantage of this method is that cash benefits and costs beyond the payback period are not included in the calculations. Organizations using the payback period method will set cutoff criteria, such as 1 to 1.5, or 1.5 to 2 months, or years maximum, for approval of projects. This depends on the complexity and cost of the project. Another point is uncertainty in future status and effects of projects, or rapidly changing markets and technology tend to reduce the maximum payback period accepted for project approval. If the calculated payback period is less than the organization's maximum expected payback period, then the project will be approved.
End of the session.